morning. This is Monday, November 21, 2011. We just launched at Rio Vista and we're heading downriver towards Suisun Bay for some sturgeon hunting. I was down here last week, didn't do any good. The week before I had two. I released the first one, which was a keeper, and kept the second one. And I have two sturgeon tags left, and I want to use them both up this year. And this may be my last trip of the year, so I may have one left over. Heck, I may have two left over. I don't know. There's no guarantee I'm going to get one, but I'm going to do all I can. I have fresh eel, and I'm heading down to my honey hole on Suisun Bay, and the weather forecast is absolutely perfect. Light and variable winds today, tonight, and I'm assuming into tomorrow morning. So this is going to be a little story of my trip. And before I turn the camera off in this first clip, I want to show what a perfect day we've got out here on the Delta. I'm going to jerk this around a bit as I turn. And there's the Sacramento River. Let me pan around to the back. It hardly looks like we're moving until I turn to the back. And then I guess it's pretty obvious. Yep. We're heading downriver for some sturgeon. I guess you can read it's doing almost 23 miles an hour. So we'll be adding to the story as the story develops. There's a few other fellows out here today trying their luck, probably stripers and sturgeon. Can't imagine anybody's trolling anymore as cold as it is. So anyway, here we go. More later. Yeah, we're a few miles downriver now from the start. Been underway about, maybe 25 minutes. One of the key indicators for how it's going to be on Suisun Bay is to check the steam as it rises off the plants downriver here. And it's pretty clear that it's a very nice day. Look at that steam column straight up in the air. Just exactly what we like to see. Here we are, heading downriver. Need to make a little course adjustment here. Get a little closer to the side of the river than I like. However, I do like to go corner to corner or point to point heading downriver. Cut some of the distance down by maintaining a nice straight line between points as you go down through the bends of the river. Right between the bow rail there you can see the next point. I'm going to reach down here to the autopilot, punch it, say go there, and it will. It'll just keep me on a nice straight line. And we'll continue our trip downriver. We'll turn this camera on again when we get there, if not before. Well, here we are, anchored at Suisun Bay on the most perfect day that November could ever present. Sunny and warm. I'm in my t-shirt. I'm fishing for sturgeon. Got 2 rods out for a change. This is the new hole here that I'm trying. I can't give particulars. However, anyone with a real keen knowledge of Suisun Bay would just about figure out where I'm at here by the video. I found a kind of a nice hole, so I thought I'd give it a try for a few hours. Still got an incoming tide. I'm waiting for an outgoing tide that will move a lot of water this afternoon. And hopefully some hungry sturgeon will come along and make my day. Now this is a day to remember forever, to be here in November with absolutely warm weather, sunny. I don't know, if it got any better than this, might as well die and go to heaven. That's it for now. Hopefully we'll have a sturgeon on here for long. Well, here we sit on Suisun Bay over my honey hole. It's been a slow day, no sturgeon yet, but it sure is a beautiful sun down here. I always get intrigued by the, I don't know what that is over there. I'm guessing that oil refinery. That's just that's just so much light being burned. It's amazing. Here's our sunset on Suisun Bay. Flat, calm, beautiful day. It's been like this all day long. Been very calm. Let me back up and see. I have a couple of rods out here over my transom, waiting for some sturgeon to come along and give me some excitement. Oh, that's so beautiful. It really is something. We'll take a look at the lights and the industry of the plants along the shores of Suisun Bay. That's the straits right over there that go off to San Pablo Bay and into San Francisco Bay. Well, no good news except for the wonderful weather. No sturgeon to brag about yet, but we're working on it. Well, well, my big Thanksgiving week fishing adventure continues. It's 5:30 on Tuesday morning. Last night's fishing didn't produce anything but one small striper, about a 21-incher that I normally would have tossed back, but he was bleeding pretty bad, so I kept him. Here we are at the wee hours of the morning. We got a line on out here. Turn on my headlight here. And we're back to fishing. 5:30 in the morning. Perhaps you can hear the foghorn off in the distance. It's over on the channel somewhere. Let's put a little light on the subject here. It's awfully dark out. There, that's a little better. And here we are, waiting for the tide to turn. It'll be another hour. It'll be a incoming tide, I believe, if I remember right. I've been looking at the charts already this morning. We're just sitting here in the fog. It's not a heavy fog out there, but it's been coming and going. Sometimes I can see the lights of the shoreline, and right now I cannot, but this is 5:30 in the morning out on my honey hole in Suisun Bay, and had a good night's sleep. Calm water all night long. Didn't have to get up and move like last week. So hopefully we'll have some more goings on here tomorrow. I mean, later this morning. See if I can turn this to myself. Yeah. I guess I don't get to looking all that pretty out here in the middle of nowhere at 5:30 in the morning, but I'm having fun. After all, that's what it's about. So we'll update this little travel log a little later. Well, here we sit. It's about 6:30 or 20 to 7. Sitting here waiting for that sturgeon to come along still. It is getting lighter, but it's a foggy morning out here. Not heavy. I was able to look up in the sky and see some stars just a while ago. And there's a little island nearby, so you can see it's not that foggy out here, but it is foggy, and boy is it wet. Everything is just soaked on this boat, just dripping wet. You see the water dripping off the radar arch up there. Kind of a typical morning this time of year out on the Delta. And while I haven't had much action, about 15 minutes ago I had something on. It was a halfway decent striper, but most likely it was a small sturgeon the way it took the bait. And I had him hooked and trying to reel him in, and all of a sudden he was off, so it wasn't a very good hookup. But who knows? That big hookup could come any minute, and I'm waiting for it. Well, here we are sitting in the cockpit of Fish Wisher the boat. On day 2 of this trip, it's probably around 9:30. I had one small, I think it was a small sturgeon or a fairly decent striper on briefly this morning. But other than a few striper nips, that's it. And I guess that's why they call this fishing. But I'm still giving it my best. Been through all this cold and fog, and it's very damp. Still, the thing about this fishing is that at any moment some big hungry sturgeon could pass by and just give me the thrill of a lifetime. Never know. So here I am, I'm still trying. And keeping that line taut, waiting for that tick, 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 tick. In fact, when the sturgeon takes the line, it's just, I hope you can hear this. This is all you get most of the time. That's about what it's like. At least the way I fish for them, because I have the spool freewheeling with the clicker on. I keep my thumb hovered over that spool, and with a little bit of a takedown, I jam my thumb into that spool and set the hook, and the fight is on. However, this trip it's only been hope that's been on. It hasn't been any sturgeon. But we'll keep at it, and hopefully I'll be able to turn this critter on with some action here in a while. Well, here we are pushing noon on day 2. I've been faithful to the cause. I can't be any more faithful than I've been. However, no sturgeon. I don't believe I even had, I might have had one sturgeon takedown, I'm not sure. But it's been definitely not my trip for sturgeon. However, I did catch a limit of stripers, just a couple of schoolies. Let me show them off here. I don't like to brag, of course, about my fish, but I'll show these. Yeah, there's a nice couple of cooking stripers. I don't target these critters. They're very popular game fish. These are barely big enough. One's 20 and 20 inches, and one's 18, half maybe. 18 is the minimum, 2's the limit, until the environmental wackos take over, and then they're going to change the limit to where they're going to be much higher numbers, and much smaller size will be able to be kept. But that's the results of this grand trip. 2 days on my beloved Delta. Sunshine, calm weather, fog, cold, and worth every minute. So, put those puppies back in the box, and in a few minutes I'm going to reel that line in and call it a trip. So that's it for this Delta adventure, unless I get lucky in about the next 10 minutes. Hope you enjoyed this little video. I know I have fun making them. Maybe next time.